As a Democrat, here's why we're losing key voters. I am saying this as a Democrat to other Democrats. Identity politics are dooming the party. It is not only alienating people who might vote for you by demonizing them for their opinions, or canceling them for some tweet they made 10 years ago, but you are also ignoring the shifting political landscape of America. Believe it or not, but Make America Great Again, MAGA, has become increasingly more diverse and accepting of others, even if equality might not necessarily be equal or that racism, sexism and homophobia hasn't dissipated. It has grown in diversity, and that's a fact. 13% of black voters went for Trump and 20% of black men voted Trump. 45% of Latinos went for Trump, and 52% of white women went Trump. 42% of Gen Z voted for Trump. That is all, and despite of Democrats' insistence that MAGA is full of the most misogynistic, racist, homophobic bunch around. And while MAGA might be all those things to some degree, there are many who look past it for their own reasons. Even in the LGBTQ community there has been increasingly growing Trump support. Being Latino, or an immigrant in general, does not mean you are more accepting of illegal immigration or migrants in general. And lumping them into that group is working against you. Focus on what they want as legally immigrated working Americans. Illegals can't vote, Americans can. Democrats can't keep relying on these communities to vote for them anymore. If they keep treating them as another check on a list of historically reliable voters, they have to approach them as individuals with individual needs rather than just minorities. Democrats need to get back white male voters. Democrats have utterly failed here and overlooked a massive problem with a hostility towards white men, which alienates them and turns them to the individuals like Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, and Andrew Tate. You have to understand that men are also trying to navigate an increasingly more diverse world, which is harder for them to find a place in and find healthy role models. If you keep telling men that they are the root of all evil, that they hate women, that they are the privileged, those men are not going to suddenly change their ways. If you don't empathize with them at all, don't provide them with some sense of empowerment, don't provide healthy role models, and shun them because they didn't agree with you, these men will turn to individuals who will provide them a sense of empowerment, even if that is toxic, because at least they will have been given a purpose and identity. Democrats need a better, more inclusive strategy for white men and frankly men in general. Remember, bears don't vote, men do. Democrats are wondering where their 15 million votes went that got Biden elected last time. Well, this is where they went. You may be mad at these people for voting for Trump, but if you continue to alienate them and act like they should vote Democrat simply because you have been pandering to them for decades, you will lose again. Policy matters. Not race, gender, or sexual orientation. Change now. P.S. I'm not saying that Republicans don't engage in dirty identity politics, but they have done a great job of gathering up all those who have gotten fed up with the Democrats' identity politics and lack of focus on the issues of the average citizens. Democrats have had a serious issue in forcing people of differing opinions out rather than just accepting that not everyone has the same opinion. You lost people during the George Floyd protests when people were saying maybe it's not cool to burn cities down and accept looting as a norm, and you called them racist and white privileged. You lost people during #MeToo when some said maybe it's not okay to label all men as sexist and ignore their feelings, while giving them no healthy mechanisms of coping. You lost people when you didn't back Bernie Sanders, who was the clearly more popular candidate, and you then called men who wanted Sanders sexist. You lost Latinos because you assumed they were all cool with migrants because they come from the same place anyways. You lost Latinos because you ignored them as a working class and saw them only as immigrants. You lost women because the economy still matters to them.